Hey guys, how is it going? In this video, I'll teach you everything you need to know about cache-augmented generation, which you can also call CAG for short. So cache-augmented generation is a new method of passing context to large language models, and that's what I'll be teaching you today. We'll also look at the advantages and disadvantages of using CAG. So the question is, why should you pass context to large language models? So let's say you go to ChatGPT, for instance, and you say, okay, what is the weather condition in Ghana right now? Chances are it might not be able to answer you because it has a cut-off knowledge. Okay, these models can only answer questions based on the data they've been trained on, and this model is already trained and deployed, so it has no knowledge about what is currently going on in the world. It's like going to ChatGPT and asking, okay, who scored the goal today against Chelsea? It might not be able to answer you because it doesn't have knowledge about this recent information. So in order to make these large language models answer current questions, we have to provide them what we call context. So context is nothing but additional data. So it's like going to ChatGPT and you give it, okay, this is the list of players who scored goals against Chelsea today. Then you ask it who scored a goal against Chelsea. So you have provided that data already. So ChatGPT will be able to answer you. So cache-augmented generation is a new method that allows you to pass this context. And this is how it works. So let's say before going to ChatGPT to ask a question, which you know, okay, ChatGPT have no knowledge about that question, you first have to give it your data source. So the data source is maybe some PDF file, some data you have somewhere, and then you push that data into ChatGPT and also ask your question after sending that data. So after sending the data, so you can see from the diagram, after sending both the data and your user input into ChatGPT, ChatGPT will be able to what? Give you a very detailed answer. And that's all cache-augmented generation is about. You pass your data to ChatGPT together with your question, and ChatGPT is able to what? Answer you. But I'm using ChatGPT here because that's what is very popular, but we call it large language models because there are different companies producing large language models. But ChatGPT is just let's say an interface where it helps you to interact with large language models. So cache-augmented generation helps you to pass both your data and your user input to ChatGPT, and based on that data, ChatGPT will be able to answer your question. So now let's look at some of the advantages of using CAG. Okay, so you can see if you pass both your data source and your user input to ChatGPT and you ask it a question, it will be very fast. So it is very efficient. The response will be very, very fast as compared to some other method we call RAG, which you need to query your data from a vector database. When you are using CAG, it's very fast because directly just pass your data and the question at a go, and this will be able to give you very good and fast responses. So overall, using cache augmented generation is very fast and is very efficient. But here is the major disadvantage about using CAG. Okay, when you are using CAG, there is one thing we call in large language model called context windows. Okay, context window. So the context window is the amount of data this large language model can process at a go. Okay, so if the context window of the large language model you are using is smaller than the amount of data you have, then CAG will not be best in that case. Okay, you can't use CAG in that case because the LLM cannot cover the whole information in the data. The data is plenty, so you can't even take or process all at a go. So that's a major problem using CAG augmented generation. But overall, CAG augmented generation is a very good approach and can be used when the amount of data you have is not more than the context window of the LLM. So first, if you decide to implement CAG, you have to know the amount of data you have and also the context window of the particular LLM you want to use. And based on that, if the context window is bigger than your data source, then you can go ahead and implement CAG. Okay, so yeah, that's all about CAG. Let me know what you think about this video and also leave your feedback in the comment section. Up until that, I'll see you in the next video where I'm going to teach you how to implement CAG. Thanks for watching.